stopped doing cardio. I started eating everything, and hey, I put on size. I got up to 232 pounds, so I actually gained 40 pounds from the beginning of my bulk to the end of my bulk.
What's up, guys? Derek, moreplace108.com. Today we are talking about Jeff Seid shitting the bed, bro. He has indeed gotten fat as fuck. Look at this goddamn double chin, looking like a goddamn whale, bro. What are you doing? He has finally done it and gotten out of shape. You were wondering why he wasn't posting this whole time. Apparently it's because he's gone from this to this bloated disaster over here. If you don't know Jeff Seid, he is an OG fitness influencer. He's one of the first guys that I don't know, was producing regular content on YouTube. Like, actually, I can't even say for certain that that's accurate, but like when I think of back when I saw Jeff Seid popping off, it was like literally the beginning of Gymshark. He was like one of the main integral athletes that really got that brand to pop off. And it was around the time when like the OG fitness YouTubers were like all starting out, like Guzman, Matt Ogus, Chris Jones, and you had guys like Jeff Seid, all the other like Gymshark, you know, OGs. And extremely genetically blessed guy, and you know, quickly rose to fame within the fitness industry on the back of his like absurd shape, genetic gifts, and also you know, perpetually staying shredded year round. Essentially, the guy is known for always being in shape. Like even when he's like bulked, he's still like what most people would dream of at the end of a cut, realistically. Like you never see the guy not have visible abs, you never see him out of shape. His absolute worst, like even the way his fat distributes across his body, like he just looks lean all the time. Shredded by most people's standards. Now again though, he's finally shit the bed, apparently, at least according to him, bro. So he posted this video. I have yet to watch it, but I watched the first like little snippet of it, and then I cut it off after because I didn't want to like ruin the whole thing and get rid of my entire genuine reaction. But he basically says he got fat and that's why he wasn't posting. This is why I stopped posting. Surprised face. All right, and he does this seemingly all the time. Like the guy, I don't know if it's just he doesn't give a shit about online content and he's just like, you know, making enough passively off his clothing and off of, you know, whatever else he sells that he just like doesn't care to like really maximize his what he could be doing online realistically, or he's like so focused on like acting and modeling or whatever it is that he's doing now. I don't know what consumes his time, but the guy barely posts, and then he'll come back and, you know, post in like a big sporadic fashion, be like, yup, I'm back and I'm gonna be posting regularly, and then falls off the map for like a year. But he's back, he's fat, and he's gonna tell us why.
I got fat, and the reason why I got fat is because I dirty bulked. Now, a dirty bulk is when you eat everything in sight to put on as much size and weight as possible. But there is one dilemma. You put on a lot of fat, and that's exactly what happened to me.
So this is a pretty, you know, I don't think I've ever seen him with like this much fat hanging from his face, but we've also seen when people try to make themselves look fat and done the whole like, you know, you fucking tuck your jaw down and like make a double chin versus, you know, all of a sudden you like stick your fucking head out and like flex your goddamn jawline, start mewing in the picture. Stuff like that makes a dramatic difference where I'm not convinced the guy's actually fat, bro. Like to me, I can still see, like obviously he's probably in the worst shape he's been in a while, but like I'll let him continue before I give my 2 cents.
So I bulked for 6 months. The first 4 months, I actually was pretty clean. I was very strict with the diet. I gradually was increasing the calories as my weight was going up, and I wasn't really gaining much fat. I just gained mostly muscle, and it was a pretty good time. Eventually, I got to 5,000 calories a day, and that's what I was eating every single
Oh, shit. See, he still looks shredded by anybody's standards here.
day. And then the last 2 months of the bulk, I liked seeing the number on the scale just go up and up and up, so I decided, let's fucking eat everything. Let's get huge. It's time to dirty bulk, baby. I stopped doing cardio. I started eating everything, and hey, I put on size. I got up to 232 pounds, so I actually gained 40 pounds from the beginning of my bulk.
Jesus Christ.
To the end of my bulk, which is actually a lot of size.
See, like here, he has like a shadow on his stomach, but you can see the detail in his arms, the separation in the muscle still. yeah, he's a little bit fluffy here, but you know, most people would probably be pretty thrilled with this still.
Gain in 6 months. It was about 6.6 pounds a month, and I'll be honest with myself, and I know that it was not all muscle that I gained. It was a lot of fat. And that brings me to the next part of the dilemma.
That's a rough shot.
I had to shred very hard to lose all the fat, and unfortunately, I also lost a lot of the muscle, the newly built muscle that I gained from the bulk. I lost it from shredding all the fat. The reason why I had to stop the bulk, and the number one reason why I think dirty bulking is not good, is it's very unhealthy. What happened to me personally is my blood pressure went through the roof, and I decided it's time to stop the bulk. It's time to stop dirty bulking. And
so this is a pretty rough blood pressure, 181/86. Now this diastolic doesn't look horrible. Pulse, shit, 124. Like if this was his resting heart rate, like presumably if you're taking your blood pressure to try and assess how bad it is, you're gonna be like sitting there for, you know, 5 to 10 minutes taking an average. And the fact that he had a 124 pulse per minute here is like pretty fucking concerning, dude. Yeah, 181/86. Like if you want to reference a like, you know, what stage of hypertension are you? This is blood pressure category normal, elevated, stage 1 hypertensive, stage 2, like go to the fucking emergency room immediately. And he was actually literally like go to the hospital level territory. This is like, oh my God, like you need to fix this. This isn't just something that's going to like insidiously like eat away at you over time. Like this is something like in the short term, like, you know, how long are you gonna last with it? You know, obviously is up in the air for different people with different, you know, predispositions and your blood viscosity, whatever it is. But like, holy shit, dude, this is hypertensive crisis, 1/180. His, you know, diastolic was just elevated, you know, stage 1 hypertension is what they would call it. But like this systolic is fucking ruthless, dude. Like this is the kind of number I would see on like, I've told the story a few times on this channel about my best friend who died at age 22. It was a fucked up scenario. He had a pulmonary embolism from a blood clot that built up in his calf as a result of, from what I speculate, to be chronically elevated blood pressure. But again, chronically from like what age? And as a healthy individual, like the guy was actually, interestingly enough, very, very lean and genetically blessed like Jeff, where he ate whatever he wanted and he would stay like, look lean. He was always like, you know, a lean gainer, like one of those guys you'd be like, well, fuck you, dude, you can eat whatever you want. Like the guy you were jealous of because he just had the best shape no matter what he did. And when he grew, it seemed like he always maintained his abs and he had sick shape and blah, blah, blah. But he had really fucking bad blood pressure. And I imagine there was some anabolic, you know, exacerbation of that blood pressure. But he had, you know, a blood clot in his calf that doctors basically wrote off entirely. And after about a week or a couple weeks of it sitting there, you know, really causing him blatant issues, like there was definitely something wrong that was not, it was almost getting debilitating where he had to stay home from work. He was in pain and, you know, they just told him to rest. They told him he injured it at the gym, which was nonsense. He didn't think that made any sense. But at the time, unfortunately, we weren't educated enough to know better. And this is one of the reasons why I am so passionate about understanding this stuff and imparting information on people about this stuff, is because, you know, personal experience at a really young age. Like, you know, you hear about bodybuilders dying at 30, 40. Like my friend wasn't even really like a bodybuilder. He was just like a guy who went to the gym, had honestly great genetics other than, you know, his, you know, blood pressure issues, and probably dabbled a little bit in gear here and there, but that's just speculation on my part, and ended up with a baseball-sized blood clot in his calf that dislodged and killed him instantly. Fucking horrible. So yeah, like this is something to take seriously. If your blood pressure is even at 130/90, like, to be honest, I would, you know, I'm not comfortable unless it's like in the 120s and the low 80s, personally. So with Jeff, you know, how much of this is driven through just being fat and eating a lot and natural, you know, predisposition, or is it, you know, exacerbated by anabolics or whatever? You know, I can't say for certain with him. I'd have, you know, I can't really like pull a natty or not on my ass right now in terms of what he is doing at this exact moment. But at the end of the day, regardless of how he arrived there, Like, this is something that needs to be addressed immediately and rectified, because it's like literally hypertensive crisis. Like, you know, you can get worse, but like, you've entered the worst category at that point. So this is serious.
What happened to me personally is my blood pressure went through the roof, and I decided it's time to stop the bulk. It's time to stop dirty bulking, and it's time to shred. My advice to you is do not dirty bulk. You need to bulk responsibly. Increase your calories gradually as your weight goes up. Keep doing cardio. Eat fairly clean. The most important thing is to keep your calories in a surplus. Be getting good sleep, getting good rest. And rest means not training. You're also gaining muscle when you don't train. You need to recover. You need to be honest with yourself. Evaluate your physique and the progress you're making, and look in the mirror. Don't just focus on the scale.
This is such like a professionally worded video seemingly for him. I don't know. It's like, one of the things I've noticed with him is not only will he not post for a long time, but then when he comes back, it's often because he has like a, I don't know, like an ad he's supposed to do for like My Protein or some shit. It's just like whatever company he happens to be with at the time. And he'll like have an obligated post or something, and it just comes across as really scripted. There's no ad here though. So maybe this is just him and he just wanted to make this video in like a very, very professionally, you know, scripted way. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see if he just falls off the map again. But back with the advice and the, you know, tips to save us from, you know, the same perils that he has gone down.
Your weight. Look in the mirror. See how much fat you're gaining. If you're gaining too much fat, not as much muscle, it might be time for you to start shredding and end the bulk. Would I recommend dirty bulking to you? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't either. I think most people at this point are pretty on the same page on that. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a necessary video. A lot of people, you know, if Jeff even fucking did it and he's a veteran of this shit, then yeah, I guess it's totally reasonable to expect in somebody who isn't a fitness industry phenom to, you know, potentially fall down that trap as well. You know, slamming mutant mass shakes, the good old days of dirty bulking, and slamming just like copious amounts of whatever the fuck you find. The what is it? The if I forget what the name of the diet is. It's like the Seid diet. Fuck, I'm just butchering this, but it's like literally just see whatever you see, you eat. You know, back in the day, the dirty bulks would be absolutely ruthless with absolutely no sensical approach to consumption. It was just what is in front of your eyeballs, and does it have a good, you know, calorie amount in it for getting as fucking heavy as you can, as quick as you can. Like, I remember in high school when I did my first dirty bulk, and I literally went from a toothpick 138 pound guy to having a fucking Guinness in like 3 months. If you don't know what a Guinness is, it's a gut that starts to hang over your penis. Not good, bro. Not to be confused with a gunt, which is the gut that hangs over a female's, you know what. For some reason, I feel like that word might be more triggering of the algorithm. It just sounds harsh, even though I say fuck and shit all the time. But whatever. So anyways, dirty bulking, I would also advise against. I have gotten fat multiple times, you know, to the point of literally inducing nosebleeds, just sitting in class, like literally sitting there in calculus and, you know, university, and just all of a sudden, oh, there's my third nosebleed of the day because my blood pressure was so high. Granted, it was exacerbated by D-Baldeca test, but you know, blood pressure is fucking blood pressure. So you want to keep that shit down. You do not want to be doing things like, you know, Jeff is, you know, trying to look out for you guys. And I don't think he was even fat though, to be honest, bro. Like, this is like, I guess for him it's fat, but like, goddamn, dude, like the fact that the worst he got was like probably going out of his way to make himself look like he's a bit of a double chin, but still having like somewhat visible abs and like fucking detailed arms and separated chest and traps and shit. Just an absolute genetic marvel, bro. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting how, if he's natural, like how could you even justify dirty bulking at this point when you know you're basically peaked? Like, at best you would eke out like another pound of muscle or some shit and go up 40 pounds on the scale to achieve that. Like, I don't know what you could be thinking you were going to achieve as a natural who is, you know, he claims he's natural, who's peaked after like over a decade of training. Like, the likelihood that you would have an outcome that was worth it in any capacity for the amount of food you were pushing, just like, I don't know how we could have rationalized that. You know, to me, I guess it's he just wanted to fucking eat more, probably. Would probably be the most logical reason. And just thought, you know, oftentimes the dirty bulk is an excuse to actually just like eat like shit, to make it feel like it's conducive. I don't know, that's maybe a stretch, but you never fucking know. You know, Jeff is an interesting character, and it should be, it's interesting to see every time he pops up, you know, what's he up to? You know, he seems to be, you can always find him at a festival or something. I feel like he's gonna be like 35 years old and still at, you know, fucking electronic festivals and shit, doing the whole like dance and stuff. So anyways, good to see Jeff is alive and well, and is, you know, lost weight, I guess, and has fixed his blood pressure issues. A, you know, statement I never thought I would say in a video. And, you know, all power to him. See if he comes on strong and stays consistent for more than, you know, 2 weeks this time. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on dirty bulking? Do you think it's worth it, if ever? You know, some people are actually pretty adamant about the fact that a dirty bulk is like far more conducive to overall progress long term. But I don't think there should only be like two sides of the debate. Like oftentimes it's like, oh, should you dirty bulk or should you main gain? And a lot of times people say main gaining is like, I don't even know like what people define as these terms anymore. Like the lines are blurred at this point. I think people oftentimes are comparing, the only two options are dirty bulking, which is like 1,500 calorie plus surplus, if not more, maybe more, 2,000, or just like garbage food in general in your massive surplus, or like 100 calorie surplus. Like those are like the two complete opposite sides of the spectrum that everyone likes to compare, when I think the happy medium, like obvious answer, is something more reasonable, like a, I don't know, like 300 calorie surplus, 500 calorie surplus. Wait until you plateau, titrate up accordingly thereafter based on like actual needs. And like Jeff said, you know, look in the mirror. If you start, you know, gaining significant amounts of fat, you know, maybe start to rethink the diet quality, you know, what is going into your routine. Do you even need this much food to recover, et cetera, et cetera? But probably pretty straightforward shit you guys already know. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. All the comments help the algorithm. Much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredays.com. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplatemordays, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. By the way, blood pressure, if you are going to be checking it, get a cuff and literally buy a cuff for your home and take average readings over multiple data points, because this is one of the most overlooked silent killers in bodybuilders. And, you know, even naturals, like obviously guys can get high blood pressure who aren't on gear, so don't think you're immune just because you don't take shit. You know, some individuals have electrolyte imbalance issues, or they have, you know, I don't just are, again, too fat. You know, it depends on the person. But ultimately, checking your blood pressure and making sure you're always as close to optimal as possible is one of the easiest ways to avoid cardiovascular disease, which is something that will, you know, fuck up a lot of people still, even if you're not using gear. So be mindful of the importance of blood pressure oversight on a regular basis. Obviously, if you're super dialed in, you know, there's only so many times you need to check before you kind of know exactly what you're going to expect. But, you know, some guys have no idea where they stand, and getting average readings over time, as you fluctuate up and down in weight, like these are all prudent things to be doing, in my opinion, regardless if you're natural or enhanced. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm not sure where I was in my outro when I started saying the blood pressure part. So if you want high quality medical oversight, and if you, for example, needed oversight for blood pressure modulation as well, and cardiovascular disease prevention, attenuation, preventative medicine, you can check out Merrick Health, or just get access to high quality self-service labs for your blood work and diagnostics. And anything else I'm associated with, recommend a diet model for gaining muscle and sports performance whilst being mindful of micronutrient intake. Something that often goes out the fucking window on dirty bulk diets is actual food quality. This is something you want to keep in mind for gaining as lean as possible, is the quality of the food you're eating. So making sure you have a high quality diet model in place. This makes it idiot proof. I'd highly recommend it. It's linked in the description below, as well as anything else I'm associated with. It's all down there. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.